What's good, guys? Welcome back to Everyday Struggle. I am Nadeska here with Wayno and Academics. We're about to head into the 4th of July holiday weekend. It's definitely a weird time in the States, but I know people are going to be celebrating. Wayno, I feel like you always have some family events planned. What are you doing for the 4th?
You know what? I haven't really thought about that. I think I'm gonna just chill. I'm gonna probably be home. I don't really want to go nowhere. I was looking at Harlem last weekend. People was cooking out till 5 in the morning, and it got a little crazy. So I think I might just stay in the crib. I don't know.
Well, we already know Academics is staying inside. Ak, how are you feeling today?
Most definitely will. You know, what, there's a chance and likelihood I'll say inside, but honestly, no, I'm feeling okay. Um, I definitely in the last couple of days, especially if anyone been looking outside the show, social media. I felt like it's been a very tumultuous time for me. It's like me versus a bunch of rappers, a bunch of other stuff going on. And while again, I think that's just par for the course with just being someone who's outspoken and someone who tries to stick to my point and I'm opinionated. I do think as I believe even Wayno brought it up before, and I think even Deska doubled down on it. Was like, do you think you ever like crossed the line? I definitely want to start off by kind of like apologizing for some of the stuff that has been going on outside of the show, and in particular, while I'm defending myself versus rapper A, rapper B, all these other people, I think I definitely went over the line when I was addressing a few women, and I just felt that just wasn't right. Just after thinking about it, like even seeing the clip, it looks nasty. And truth be told, given everything that's going on, not only in the world, given what's going on with the current climate of even at Complex, and also former employees and current employees. Also working with a desk as someone who I have a lot of love for. I just felt it was just completely out of pocket and something that I had to admit that you can't be a hypocrite saying you're going to be an ally and stand for riding for causes that matter to like people like your co-host Adeska, and then do these other things or say these other things. So I want to officially offer an apology, and I've also spoke to Complex leadership about it, and they as well agree that it was out of pocket. So I'm extending my apology to not only the Deska but anyone who may have been offended. And with that being said, I think what's necessary is we have to have some type of action. And I talked to Complex leadership, and I'm going to be taking the next 2 episodes off. They agree with it. I agree with it. And when we do come back from our break, so there is going to be a break, there's going to be 2 episodes without me. So I just wanted to apologize sooner before, just kind of letting it lie, because, that would be the path of least resistance and just the easy way to go out. But we can't address things like this like suckers, you know what I mean? So I want to apologize to everyone. And again, you guys will see me. We're going to have 2 episodes without me, but I just officially want to put my apology on the table.
I thank you for that. Of course, we're gonna miss you on those couple episodes, but I know you're big on keeping the same energy, and we did just address some of these issues recently. We're all humans and we make mistakes, but I think it's really important that you're able to apologize, and obviously, Complex leadership is taking this seriously. So we're gonna figure out some guest hosts to fill in with us for those first 2 episodes. We'll see you on July 15th, and I still hope that you enjoy your 4th.
Of course, absolutely. I'll try to. I'll use it as a moment of self-reflection.
Yo, thank you, Ak. Be good this weekend. Start decorating the crib. Have fun. Hey guys, so we're at the midway point of the year, although I know we're all sort of in this time warp at the moment. So before we go into this 4th weekend, we just wanted to share some of the songs and albums that we've really liked so far in 2020. Bueno, you want to kick us off?
Yeah, yo, I ain't gonna lie. It's hard to make these lists when you have to actually think about it, right? Like, but I ain't gonna say that when you have to actually think about it, because I bullshitted for a minute before I got mine in. But yeah. So let me start with the albums. My favorite album of this year has been Little Baby, My Turn. I felt like this is an album that's gonna grow really well. I feel like it's an album that's gonna grow really well, and like his actions outside of his album is showing so much. That he's a growing artist that's going to be here for a minute. Then after that, I got Jay Electronica, a written testimony. Him and Jay Z's album. But it wasn't specifically for that. Like, I ain't gonna lie, when I first heard it, I wouldn't say I didn't like it, but I just didn't expect it that way, because I wanted to hear Jay Electronica just like Jay Electronica. I didn't want to hear Jay Z with him. But when you really dig into the album, it's a lot of great music on there. Freddie Gibbs, Alfredo, you know what I mean? Him and Alchemist, I feel like, every time Freddie like just puts out a project, he said his music sounds like he put so much time into it.
Yeah.
Like he really gives a fuck about, you know, how it's delivered, the sequence, everything. So I got that. I got Pop Smoke Me Through too. I couldn't. It kind of hit a little bit different for me because when I posted it on my gram, you know, he commented, you know, under it and everything, and he always was like, I knew him through my friend, you know what I mean. So he always was a person that would hit me up and shit. So, but Me Through too, and Polo G the GOAT. You know, Polo G the GOAT. I feel like, you know, this kid, he just showed out. Like he's the epitome of like the youth, but having a connection to the older dudes without having to do specifically the shit I grew up on, just by his context of what he talks about. You know, he talks about some real shit, so I had to put Polo G in there.
I think we definitely have some overlapping picks. Let me see if I can find my list here real quick. I have so many windows open. All right, so for albums, definitely Lil Baby, My Turn. I've been loving his singles a lot over the past couple of years, but I think, like you said, this album to me felt like he really, really arrived and set those intentions. Like, he wants to be a legend. This is not a game for him, so I really appreciate it. Coda the Friend. For all the independent artists out there, I think Coda is someone you should really check on if you're interested in coming up that way. Last year, he had a great project called Photo. He followed up with everything. He produces, he raps, he takes care of everything himself. It's a great project. I also picked Polo G, the GOAT. Having him on the show was really insightful for me. Got to sort of understand a bit more about how his mind works, how much he looks up to people who've done, you know, OGs, what they've done, and like how he can follow in their footsteps, not trying to make the same mistakes other people have made. So a great sophomore project for him, the GOAT. And then Run the Jewels 4. Killer Mike and LP have been doing their thing for a long time, but especially this moment, this very turbulent moment that we're living through in history, I felt like this album really resonated for me. And then my last pick is a little bit of a wild card. Wait, no, I don't know if you know Thundercat.
What?
Okay, so
damn, yo.
Yeah, so
he
put out
Thundercat.
a great album this year called It Is What It Is. Like, his style is just so psychedelic to me. It's like funky, jazzy, R&B. And then the features on the album are really dope. He has Steve Lacy from the internet. He has Childish Gambino. So this is his fourth project. I think it's super, super dope. So those are my album picks.
So we gotta listen. Ever since, so I got on Thundercat when Drunk came out, right? When that album came out, right? Ever since then, like, I've been dying to go to one of his shows, So we gotta go to a show together, please. Like,
all right, done. Whenever we get out of quarantine, this would be amazing.
Right.
I'm surprised. Okay, because this is something I know academics would make fun of me for, so I appreciate you.
Yo, listen, I listen to Thundercat a lot. Like, my son hates it. Like, some days we get in the car and I'll go somewhere and I'll throw it on and he's just like, yo, what is this you listening to? Like, every time. But I really like Thundercat. He reminds me a lot of Anderson .Paak a bit, but just a little bit on the funk side. It's more old school, but I think like he's fire. I love Thundercat, for real.
It's definitely a vibe. So we also have a few song picks. Like Wayno said, it's really tough coming up because then you're sitting down and trying to crunch 7 months of music. And it's also been this weird year where, of course, we're still, you know, listening to new music. But I've also just been listening to a lot of old things because it feels more comforting this year. So Wayno, with that said, what are your favorite songs so far this year?
Okay. I went a little bit cliche. I ain't gonna lie. I went a little bit cliche. But now I ain't gonna lie. So I got number one, my favorite song this year is We Paid by Lil Baby and 42 Dugg. And the video made me love the song way more than the actual, like, hearing it once the video came out. I love that song. It made me want to buy a Dodge Charger and just fucking ride around doing nothing like they doing in the video. Life is Good with Future and Drake. I think that this is one of the records that, like, I mean, Future and Drake, they got a lot of joints together. They got a whole album, but this is one of the joints that we gonna remember 10, 20 years from now. Dollars on My Head by Gunna and Young Thug off of Gunna's album. Wanna, that's my shit. I love that record. And All Love by Lil Durk. Like, that record by Lil Durk, like, that's another album. I know we didn't put it in the albums. I didn't put it in the albums, but like, he put together a great fucking project, man. Like, this kid is just so good. And then because you brought up Thundercat, I got an honorable mention. I know everybody up here the graphics and all that. My honorable mention by Thundercat is Dragon Ball Do-Rag. I fucking love that song. I love that song.
All right, let's see. What do I have for my picks? I'm starting with Megan Thee Stallion and Beyonce on the Savage remix.
I was torn on that one too. I almost picked that one. I ain't gonna
You
lie.
know what? I got you because I figured some of the songs you would pick that we would overlap a little bit on at least albums, but then we could round each other out a little bit. Megan's been grinding for a while, and it was really dope to see her get this remix with Beyonce. Obviously, the Houston love, them donating some of the profits to proceeds, and just a look. I really felt like she deserved that. It was really dope moment. Lil Baby, the bigger picture. I just continue to be impressed by this guy. I feel like he can do no wrong right now, and I really hope that he keeps on this path. Just stay focused. Mac Miller, of course, we got the posthumous album Circles this year. One of my favorite songs on it was Good News. I just felt like it came from, a very, very honest place. I don't know if you guys have listened to that album. Go check it out. And I think I mentioned this song a couple weeks ago, Isaiah Rashad, Why Worry? So his project, The House is Burning, is allegedly coming this year. I really, really love The Sun's Tirade. That was about 4 years ago. He loves to make us wait a lot in between projects. So I'm hoping that actually drops this year. And Jack Harlow, What's Poppin'? Bueno, I know you mentioned this song yesterday. Honestly, the more I learned about Jack Harlow, I got a chance to interview him for my Apple Music show. I was just really impressed to realize how hard he's been working, how long he's been working, how many projects he's put out. What's Poppin' is dope. It's super catchy, and I love that he got that mega remix.
So let me tell you where I just made an error at. I didn't mention my last song that I had in, which was Jack Harlow Was Poppin'. So
okay, there we go.
The same one.
We got one in common. You like the remix, by the way?
Yeah, I love the remix. I think it's just well deserved. When you see an artist, like the first time I heard him was Dark Knight. The first time the record I heard from him was Dark Knight, like 3 years ago, and he just seemed a little bit different than everybody else. Especially at this time, being a white rapper is pretty tough. You know what I'm saying? Like it's pretty tough because like I ain't gonna front. If you ain't coming with bangers like G-Eazy, if you ain't making that type of music, nobody not really paying you too much time. But I really like Jack, and I think that he's going in the right direction. And What's Poppin', I think, is his moment. That's gonna make people like really pay attention to him. Like he's number 8 right now. I think he's on pace to go up by next week too.
Yeah, he's just also a very smart kid. You remember recently we were talking about Eminem having to sort of apologize to Revolt. I feel like when you're a white rapper, this is something that's going to come up all the time throughout your career, no matter how much you do and accomplish. And I think he's well aware of the space that he's occupying, the need to be like respectful to the culture and all of that. So I hope the rest of the year works out really well from him. I'm looking forward to more music. And then a super random honorable mention for songs. Tame Impala, Breathe Deeper. Okay, so he has a project out. I think it came out in February. Yo, I really love just like weird psychedelic music. This is like non-rap Nadeska, and I really love this song.
I like Tame Impala too. You know who? Have you ever listened to Purity Ring before? You should check out Purity Ring. Yeah, similar. Like Purity Ring is like similar to Tame Impala, but Purity Ring they dope. But I didn't even know Tame Impala dropped a new project.
Yeah, check out this song. It's really good. All right, wait, no, maybe we have more musical taste in common than I realized.
Remember I hit you up like, yo, you know about Snow Allegra? And you was like, what? Of course I do. Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. Ike's always clowning me, but Wayno knows what's good. All right, guys, so those are our picks. I'm sure there's a lot of other stuff that came out this year that's really dope that I'm sure we're not remembering because like Wayno said, always really hard to like just narrow it down. But of course, Complex is doing best albums of the year so far and best songs of the year so far. If you want to go check that out. Otherwise, want to wish you guys a happy 4th, a safe 4th, and we'll see you guys here on July 13th.
May the 4th be with you, all that good stuff. For my I'm about to say trackies, for all my Star Wars fans out there,
For all the nerds. We'll see you
guys.
Yes,
absolutely. I'm one of them.
Of course. That's so good. See you guys in a week. Thank you for watching Everyday Struggle.